I was 23 years old, but that didn't stop me from standing up and screaming like a child, "Hey, somebody's cheating!" Now this outburst was way more entertainment than my wife and my sister's husband could possibly have hoped for from a quiet game of cards on a Saturday afternoon. Not that these two hadn't been enjoying themselves over the last 7 or 8 hands as my brother-in-law reached over to the table next to him and slid extra pennies to his accomplices in the game. Now, I knew the rules. Everyone had 3 coins to wager in this game. And when I looked into the pot and I saw way more pennies than there could possibly be for the amount of people at the table, I stood up and I said, "Hey, somebody's cheating," at which point my sister and our older brother leapt up. "That's not fair. It's against the rules." We were so upset. The game ended and we couldn't sit down for 5 or 10 minutes. And my brother-in-law, who over the years has raised his love of poking at the quirks of his in-laws and raised it to a fine art form, considers that card game as his crowning achievement. And he's retold this story many times, usually beginning with the phrase, "Your family is so competitive." And he's right. We're very competitive. And we're so competitive, we don't take 7 or 8 hands to figure out that somebody's cheating. So what puzzles me is why, on that day, in that card game, why did it take so long for us to see that someone was cheating? Why weren't we so competitive? Now, my sister and my brother and I are from a very large family. And a very large family can be complex. And I haven't played cards in a long time, but my memory of them is of simplicity. In a card game, you deal to the left. In a card game, this card is higher than this card. In a card game, you take turns. So maybe when we were kids, we didn't go and play cards to compete with each other, but we went to play cards because of those simple rules. And by agreeing to stay within those rules, we basically were reaching out our hands to each other and using that magic of simple rules to hold off the complexity of our lives, at least for a moment. And why anyone would want to break that magic by cheating would be unimaginable. You know, at the time of that card game, my wife and I were recently married, and my sister and her husband and our brother had recently moved to the same town that we were in. So it's quite possible that in that card game, it was the first time that our new families sat down and did something that our old family had done. And my brother-in-law, by poking at this quirk, actually showed us something that day. He showed us that in our new families, we no longer needed the magic of simple rules to bring calm to our lives. And that was such an amazing realization. It pushed us farther into our new lives. But his slap of cheating was like a doctor's hand on the backside of a baby, and we screamed out like infants, "That's not fair! It's against the rules! Hey! Somebody's cheating!"